Good morning, Keller Williams. Happy Wednesday. In the category of you learn something new every single day, who knew that Donna Gilbert was a Daft Punk fan? Gotta love a little Pharrell Williams as Daft Punk. All righty. I hope you have a lucky day. Why not? Hey, let's get started with my friend, Steve Harvey.
Election day in cities and states across America, and even though kids can't legally vote, they do have a lot to say. And so I found some letters from some kids that was written to the president. Here's the first one. It says, "Dear Mr. President, what does your wife call you? Is it Mr. President or something else? I wonder because my mom has a lot of names she calls my dad. Your friend Jeff." Here's another one. "Dear Mr. President, what happens to the vice president when you go to bed? Does he get to play president at night?" That's from Tyson. Here's another good one, folks. "Dear Mr. Obama, you are real handsome, way better than George Washington. I'm here if things don't work out with the First Lady. Yours truly, Claire." What the hell is Claire talking about? I'm here. You're here for what, Claire? All right, how about this one right here? "President, sir, who wins fights in the White House, you or the First Lady? I bet she does, because girls are good at fighting." This kid right here done already figured it out. I've been arguing with this little girl in my class. I ain't won one yet. You can't beat them at that, man. And then there's this one right here. "Mr. Obama President, please come to our school and tell everyone we are related so I can get all the girls. Yeah. President Obama is my daddy." Hey, thanks for watching, everybody.
All righty. Them kids say the darndest things, don't they? All righty. So let's keep moving this morning. Speaking of people who say the darndest things, I think I see my good friend, Jose Vladimir. Good morning, Jose.
Good morning. My turn to say the darndest things. Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Wishing all of you a wonderful, wonderful day. Today's mortgage topic I hope is one that you find interesting. Currently, all of you are in constant battle with your contracts and trying to make your offers as more appealing as possible. And basically what I'd like to discuss today is about how to potentially use private mortgage insurance, PMI, as an appraisal gap strategy, especially when you are making offers that are above listing price. So for example, you have a listing price of $420,000 and you end up making a contract price of $450,000 and your offer is accepted with a 20% down payment. That is a loan amount of $360,000 and a loan to value of 80%. In that case, mortgage insurance is not required, of course. But then here comes that bad appraisal dude, and he ends up giving you an appraisal for $410,000. Oh my God, it's less than the listing price. It is less than what you were expected. And now we have an appraised value of $410,000. So there's where now the loan to value is 88%. And that's where private mortgage insurance can come into play. It can come and help this transaction to be safe. You don't have to bring money into the table to make the transaction happen. Mortgage insurance can be a useful tool to make it work. And there are 4 ways that one can pay for mortgage insurance. One, it can be paid by borrower paid on a monthly basis. It can be a single premium. It can be lender paid, which by the way can be financed, and also a split premium. That is my tips for today. If you have any questions about this topic, my friends and I at Guaranteed Rate Affinity would like to help you. You can reach out to me, John Corcares, or Kristen. We can help you, give you more details about these strategies that we have available to you to help your transactions work. As always, with your success in mind, I am Jose Vladimir, your Spanish-speaking loan officer from Guaranteed Rate Affinity. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jose. Always appreciate you and your time. And from henceforth, all appraisers will be known as bad mortgage dudes.
So, I said bad mortgage dudes. I'm sorry. Bad appraisal dudes.
Well, maybe you said bad appraiser dudes. I just like the bad dude part of it. All righty.
That's great. I love it.
A couple of quick announcements before we get to our Wheel of Names excitement for this morning. Today at 1 o'clock, we do have a marketing panel for you to enjoy. So do plug into that right here in this Zoom room if you're curious about what some of your colleagues are doing from a marketing perspective, if you're looking for some ideas about marketing, if you're looking for assistance plugging into marketing. All things marketing will be discussed today at 1 o'clock. So again, right here on this Zoom channel, plug into that. A reminder that our offices are closed on Friday in observance of Juneteenth, and that official day is Saturday. The staff will not be here on Friday. I don't know if you noticed, but yesterday the Senate unanimously voted to approve Juneteenth as the 12th federal holiday. It just has to go through the House now, but that is looking very much like it will be more official and not just state by state by next year. So just a reminder that our offices will be closed. I think there are 1 or 2 trainings scheduled for Friday, which will be rescheduled into next week. So just a quick note on that. It is Wednesday morning, and so that means I have my listings update for you, except with all transparency, I screwed it up somehow, and I'm not sure exactly how I screwed it up. So instead of giving you exactly where you are in your listings challenge, I'm going to flip it a little bit and say to you that we have 2 weeks left, right? We're 6.5 weeks into our 8.5 week challenge because our challenge is through June the 30th. June the 30th is 2 weeks from today, or at least pretty close to 2 weeks from today. And actually, it is exactly 2 weeks from today. So you have 2 weeks to hit that 358 new listings. You're about, and I'll get you specific numbers a little later on today, you're about 100 listings shy. So we've got 2 weeks, 14 days to take 100 listings. Now there are 80 of us on this call. If we each just take one in the next 2 weeks, we're nearly there, right? If we each just take 2 in the next 2 weeks, we blow our target out of the water. So by a quick show of hands or thumbs or emojis or blue little bold hands or whatever it is you want to utilize, who is all in on doing everything we have to do in the next 2 weeks to make sure we don't fall short of that listings goal, right? 358 or bust, man. You are far too skilled and powerful to not hit that goal 6.5 weeks into performing at such a high level, right? So don't allow the warm weather to creep in and say, you know what? I think maybe I'm going to start pulling back a little bit. Nope, no time for that, right? As my 92-year-old grandmother continues to say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, right? You got plenty of time for relaxation and all that other crap later. The next 2 weeks, we got to hit it hard so that you can create the summer that you're actually looking to have by having the inventory to carry through and create those closings for July and August. So I appreciate you're all in this. That was a lot of thumbs and a lot of whatevers. That is awesome. Keep up the great work. So also on Wednesday, we know we have our fun Wheel of Names. We've got 2 weeks worth of congratulations to give. Let's start on our insurance wheel of names. So this is everybody who has contributed to the insurance effort over the course of the last 2 weeks. We've got Chris DiBiase, Silva Christoph, the Auslander Kassendorf Group, Fiona Porter, Kimberly Tapscott, Amy Sigmampalia, Hai Natarajan, and I think that's it. So thank you to all those folks. We have a whole lot of doubles and triples and quadruples in there. Right, I think Auslander Kassendorf is in there ×4. I think DiBiase is in there ×3. We've got Tapscott in there twice, right? So you got a whole bunch of people utilizing these services. They now get to spin for the win. I don't know about you, but I live all week just to spin this wheel. Drum roll, please. Here we go. The insurance winner for this week on our wheel of names is the ever skilled and talented, there she is, Amy Sigmampalia. Congratulations, Amy. Where is she? I know she's here. I saw her before. There she is. And just because I can, I'm going to spotlight Amy for everybody. Yay! There's Amy's face really big for everybody. Congratulations, Amy. Thanks so much for playing the game. All right, so moving to our concierge services. I know, I think Jeannie's like, you know what more do I have to do to win a freaking $100 bill? I know, maybe if you're nice to Amy, she'll split it and take you out to lunch. All right, so let's flip over to our wheel of names for our concierge services. Here we go. So the last 2 weeks, we say a thank you to Moses and Jonathan, Elena, the Auslander Kassendorf Group, Carolyn, Dawn, Erica, Debbie, Jedna, and Marissa. Thank you all so much for utilizing those services in the last 2 weeks. We so appreciate you. By the way, guys, the reason it's 2 weeks is because if you remember last week, we were at 7 and 7, so we didn't quite hit our 10. So we rolled that into this week, and we've got another sort of 7 each this week. So we crested our minimum of 10. So drum roll yet again here. Thanks everyone for plugging in and utilizing those services. We do hope they're saving you time, effort, energy, and money. And speaking of money, we spin our wheel of names to find a winner this week on the concierge services side. And it looks like that is going to be Jonathan. That's Jonathan again, because I'm pretty certain that Jonathan won the concierge piece last time. He's up to $200. I know he's here. I just don't know if his camera's on, because he's probably, yeah, his camera's not on. So everyone can just kind of look at Jonathan, because I can't spotlight him if his camera's not on. So everyone say thank you so much, Jonathan. Congratulations to Amy and Jonathan. We appreciate you and everything you do. All right, guys. Keep plugging away. We're going to run that wheel of names for the next 2 weeks. That'll run through the end of June. And then we will determine whether or not that is going to continue. So you may be on your last couple of weeks for those crisp $100 bills. So let's get plugged in and winning. All right. So in our remaining minutes, I wanted to just kind of run through a couple of do's and don'ts on the buy side of the business. Do's and don'ts on the buy side of the business from some things that I've noticed and have been involved in the last couple of weeks, a couple of things that keep coming up. We want to be certain that you are aware of. And so I crafted this 5 do's and don'ts list for you, kind of like a top 10 list, but a little bit different. So let's run through it real quick. Number 1 in your buyer do's and don'ts list is a do. So number 1, do schedule and conduct a proper buyer consultation every time. Did you hear those last 2 words? Every time. Don't cheat yourself. Don't cheat the buyer in the name of whatever. In the name of a shortcut, in the name of, well, I'll just do it this one time. Well, the market's really moving fast, so there's no time for a consult. No. right? You run your business the way you run your business, and you make adjustments in your business based on market conditions, but those adjustments should not be not having a proper consult, right? Proper consults are either in person or Zoom. A quick phone call doesn't allow you to see the person. I want you to have your eyes on the buyer and the buyer to have their eyes on you. So the consult needs to be in person or via Zoom so that you can have a proper consult. The buyer consult should include a couple of things. Number one, a needs analysis. Number two, expectation setting. Number three, a discussion about ability and motivation. And number four, a conversation around the hiring portion of the meeting, right? The buyer consult is a lot of things, and it's also a hiring conversation. And many of you are leaving out the hiring portion of it, right? Instead, just pushing a document across the table saying you have to sign this in order for me to take you out. That's not a hiring conversation. And then what happens is it comes back to bite you later on. Right? So number one is do schedule and conduct a proper buyer consultation every time. Number two is a don't. So number two, don't just send the buyer contract via email to get signed. And that includes including it in a package of paperwork when you're writing an offer. Guys, it gets lost in all of that documentation. If you just send it out via DocuSign, they open it, they click the little box, they don't read it, and then when something goes wrong, it comes back to bite you later on. Remember, just because somebody signed that document does not mean that if we have to utilize that document to get paid, that the judge doesn't ask the question, did you have a proper consultation? Did you explain, big, bad, horrible real estate brokerage company people? Because that's how the courts see us. Did you explain what the buyer was signing? And if you can't truthfully answer yes to that, guess what? We get to lose in those situations. Right? So please make sure that you're not just shooting out documentation and saying, here, sign it. That doesn't cut the mustard, right? It doesn't check the box of a consultation. Be willing to have the conversation around getting hired. Too many of you are still hiding from that conversation, right? And in person, we hide from it by just kind of burying the document in other paperwork. Some of you are now hiding behind DocuSign, right? Let's get out in front of that. You can send it via DocuSign to get signed as long as you're also on a Zoom call, able to then answer questions and review any documentation with them, right? Because that's the right thing to do. Number three, do fully explain current market conditions to every buyer every time. Guys, they have to know what to expect. This saves everybody time, effort, and heartache. Right? Use statistics to make your points pop. Don't just offer your opinion. Don't just tell them the market's moving quickly. Don't just tell them they may have to outbid everybody else or go over asking. Show them statistics. Back up what you're saying with some proof, with some data. Show them the numbers that drive the reality that you're going to ask them to live in, right? And then this is an important piece of this. Ask them if they're willing to play that game. If their answer is yes and they understand it, then go get them a house. Some of them might say no. You have to be willing to have some buyers say no so you can have further conversation or move them from A buyers back down to C buyers if they're really uninterested in doing what it takes to win houses today. Or else everyone's just out being irritated. And what is the point of that, right? Number four, don't blame the buyer or the market for lack of success. Don't blame the buyer or the market for lack of success. The only way to change the trajectory of your buyers is for you to recognize that you need to show up differently? Right? Houses are going under agreement every single day. How can you educate your buyers differently on how to be one of those winners versus the losing party? How can you offer different strategies to come out on top? How can you show up differently for them, right? It is a losing game to complain about your buyers or complain about the market. You don't have control over either of them. The only one you have control over is you. So if you're struggling to have success with some of your buyers, you need to step back, look in the mirror and say, what do I need to do differently? Who do I have to be different than I am today? What do I have to learn? What do I have to be brave enough to say? How can I do this differently? What education are these buyers missing, right? You have to take it back on you, or else you're living in the world of, if they were different, I'd be better. And that's not a world that is a success for you. Number 5, do have follow-up consultations before every second or third time out. Do have follow-up conversations or consultations before every second or third time out. And what I mean by that is, just because you had the consult 2 weeks ago and they haven't yet purchased a property, doesn't mean that everything is the same. You need to plug in, especially when the market's moving quickly, especially if someone has dipped their toe in the pool and maybe not had success. You need to be checking in with them. You need to sit down again and make sure nothing has changed. Be certain that they understand what's going on in the market. I would ask them questions. If they lost a house, I'm curious, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, what do you think we could have done differently to create a different result on that last house? Help them self-discover some of the things that they could be doing differently. That might be a strategy that you can bring to the table that you hadn't thought of before, that allows you to show up differently for them. You want a bonus? Come on, I know you want a bonus. Work hard on your bonuses. All right, number 6 in your 5 do's and don'ts. Here's your bonus. Do have conversations that empower people. And what I mean by that is, have conversations that empower your buyers to believe that they are in control as much as is possible right now. Remind them about all the positives about buying. Remind them about the low cost of money. Remind them about some of the tools that many of our mortgage partners have been talking about recently to help people win, right? The pre-underwritten loans, the strategy that Jose spoke about earlier, utilizing PMI to help handle some potential appraisal issues, right? Use all those tools that we keep bringing you to remind them why now is still a great time to buy. Remind them that they get to make the choices regarding how they buy. Remind them that the market is what the market is, and people are winning every single day, right? You have to keep them up and motivated. You have to help empower them. You have to encourage them, right? Somebody once said to me, how do you know that someone needs encouragement? They're breathing is the answer. That's how you know that somebody needs encouragement. They're breathing, because everybody needs encouragement. So are you showing up as the encourager in chief for your buyers? Are you showing up helping empower them to make those decisions, right? They get to make the decisions about how they win. If all we do is show up and agree that it's frustrating, and we're all just talking about how frustrating the market is, do you see how all that does is discourage them? You have to be more encouraged about their ability to win than they are, because then you will bring them along with that encouragement. So have conversations that empower people and encourage people, and that includes your buyers. Guys, that's the info I have for you on buyers today. I do hope it was helpful. Speaking of helpful, I see my good friend Adonis sitting right there waiting to launch us into our Marty Miller for the day. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning to you, my good friend. Today, Marty's going to talk to us about creating a task and the different ways and different types of tasks you can create. So enjoy it. This will be a good one to help you for your business.
Good morning, Keller Williams, and welcome back to the KW Command 66-Day Challenge 5.0, and today is day 12. Yesterday, we introduced the Tasks applet, and today we're going to dive further into it to show you how you can create actual tasks inside of that Tasks applet. So let's click on the Tasks applet, number 3 down here. And you can see on the right-hand side, we have the ability to create a new task. So this is option number 1. And essentially when I come in, I can put in the task name. So it might be follow up on missing T47 123 Main Street, right? That might be a example of an opportunity task, or it might be just call Mike Hillary, congrats on maps success. All right, and I can call Mike, but I'm actually going to be traveling, so let's say I'll be back in town, let's say Tuesday the 1st, and I don't want to do that all day. I want to have a specific time that I need to call. Mike doesn't want me to call him at 5 a.m., so let's call him at 2 p.m. and congrats on new maps clients. Boom, there you go. So if I have a hyperlink, I could do that, right? So this task might not be a call task. It might be comment on Mike's Facebook page. And then I could put a hyperlink for Mike's Facebook page. I can also associate contacts. So if I wanted to do that, I could come in and decide, okay, am I pulling those contacts from the team or from my personal? And then I can search for Mike's contact. And here's Mike, and I would say, yep, that's who I want to associate with that. Click on it, and now you can see that the assigned contact is Mike Hillary. I would then click on create that task. And now I have a featured task that will show up. So if I do next 7 days, you can see that that's due on June 1st. Here's the task name, and here is the contact associated. So that's number 1. Same thing here inside of opportunity tasks. Basically, you have the ability to set these tasks from your opportunities pipeline. And that's basically, I would come into opportunities. This is getting us a little bit ahead, but I would dive into one of my active opportunities. So I'm getting into a phase. Here's a stage, and we've got tasks inside of our stage checklist. And this is where those would show up. So I could say I'm going to assign that to myself, and I'm going to make that due tomorrow, and let's do it at 4:30 p.m. Okay. And now you can see checklist item has been updated. I can close that. If I come back to my tasks and go into opportunity tasks, next 7 days, you'll see there is that test task that is now associated with that specific opportunity, and it even associates the contact that is associated with the opportunity. If I wanted to dive into the opportunity to get the details, I would just click on the opportunity name and I can get in there. If I wanted to dive into the specific contact, I would click on the contact name and it would open it up. And it's in a, that was actually in my team account, so we're in the wrong account, but that's okay. So that's how we're doing opportunity tasks. The other way for contact tasks is if I'm in the actual contact. So let's say I'm actually in Mike's contact record and I want to call him, and so here's his contact record. I want to remember to follow up. I can click on the task applet, click on add task, and go through that same exact process that I just went through earlier. So that's number 2 for creating a task. We also have smart plans, which we're actually going to dive into here very soon. And tasks are also available inside of smart plans. Whether those are custom smart plans or library-based smart plans, you will see that many of them, let's just take a Keller Williams task here, 8x8. If I view the steps, and we'll get into this more in the future, but you can see here is a task that would be associated with the 8x8 smart plan. And when I put somebody on this smart plan, day 8, this task would fire for that specific contact. So we'll get into smart plans. I'll show you how to add tasks to smart plans in the future. But for right now, the ability to create a new contact-based task from the contacts tab or from in the contact record. And if I'm going to create an opportunity task, I need to do that from my custom checklist inside of the actual opportunity itself. That's it for today, guys. Day 12, how to create a new task for contacts or opportunities. We will be starting smart plans tomorrow, so get excited. I look forward to seeing you then.
All righty, thank you so much. We appreciate you as always, Marty. Guys, that's all we have for you today. Have an awesome day today. We will see you at 1 o'clock for the marketing panel. Ignite goes off at 4 o'clock. And if not, we'll see you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Have a great day.